You see that? $3.68. That is the entire budget for today's episode. So I was a line cook in a noodle restaurant for just under a year, which basically makes me a chef, and therefore all my opinions I state today are factual, and there's no need for you comment demons to go and try and give me your crappy opinions, because they're subjective and everything I say today is objective. All right, without further ado, fast food tier list. So right off the bat, we should start with the most popular fast food chain, at least culturally speaking, which would be McDonald's. And I'm going to say that it actually belongs right in the middle, because I'm going to be totally honest with you. Of all the fast food things I've ever consumed, McDonald's has never been the best, but it's also never been the worst. I think the thing that really holds it back is that the quality of the beef in their burgers is actually really bad. It often just leaks grease, and it just has this processed flavor, like it's not real beef, which I don't think would surprise anyone. So I'm gonna land it right in C, because that's really where it belongs. All right, on the chain of, oh, this is gonna make people mad. On the chain of fast food burger restaurants, Burger King, in my opinion, my humble opinion, belongs in B. Okay, I think that for a few reasons. Number one, McDonald's French fries actually are super lame. They're either too crispy or too floppy, and for how processed they are, there's a whole TED talk on how bad McDonald's French fries are for you. They're really not that good, and I think Burger King's French fries are a little bit better. And I just think Burger King's overall burgerness is a little bit higher quality, though their flame grilled motto thing I think is a little bit artificial. But anyways, okay. Wendy's is actually a step in front of Burger King. And I think that for a few reasons. Okay, number one, Wendy's buns are probably the best real fast food chain buns that you can get on a burger. I think both Burger King and McDonald's have grocery store buns, whereas Wendy's is an actual soft, almost brioche quality bun. Plus their meat, I really do think is just higher quality than both Burger King and McDonald's. It is straight up better. I don't think that's up for debate. Okay, Culver's. For those of you who don't know, I live in Wisconsin now, and Culver's is a regional chain here in the Midwest. They have something called a butter burger, Wisconsin dairy. So they just take butter and put it on the bun. I personally can't taste it, and I'm going to go ahead and put them right in C category, because the thing is with fast food is you have to think practically. Once you become an adult, you realize that cost is a huge point of fast food. And Culver's, I gotta say, is just too expensive for what you get. So they go in C tier, plus their French fries are just horrible. Crinkle cut fries at fast food restaurants is seldom good. Okay, next up, let's do Auntie Anne's. Okay, Auntie Anne's is really tough. I used to get Auntie Anne's every time I went to the Danbury Mall growing up, and I loved it. Everyone loves it. It's super good. But the issue is, I think their quality has gone downhill. Because I went there recently, albeit here in Wisconsin, and the cheese dip, I don't think it was ever gourmet, but the cheese dip was terrible. It was radioactive, and it was super expensive. So I'm sorry, Auntie Anne's, I got to put you in D tier. Just not up to the quality that you once were. Okay, Nathan's, another regional chain. However, this was in the same Danbury Mall as the Auntie Anne's I would go to. And I would put them in S tier because they're that good. They do hot dogs and burgers and stuff like that. But I gotta down them to an A tier because the location I used to go to closed down. So that's sad. Okay, Nathan's is really good. If you ever find one, you should go there. Unless there's real food available. Okay, up next, let's do Papa John's. Okay, Papa John's is an instant S tier, obviously, because I think Papa John is one of the most charismatic and endearing characters in all of modern media these days. However, I'm gonna have to bring him down a notch because I actually have his autograph. Okay, I know that seems confusing. The reason I have his autograph is because my mom was like a makeup artist for commercials. She did a commercial with Papa John's, and I don't. She did like Tom Cruise, Morgan Freeman's makeup. I'm sure many other ones. And she never bothered to get any of their autographs, but she only got Papa John's. And so I have this like resentment for only having Papa John's autograph. So I'm going to bring that down to A tier. Plus their food is terrible. KFC. KFC is like a legacy fast food brand. So I feel like places like Popeyes and Wingstop and Chipotle are quite a bit newer culturally speaking and actually just relevant speaking. So KFC is quite a bit older, and places like Popeyes and what's the one everyone loves called? Chick-fil-A have come in and sort of took that fried chicken like sector and really ate up market share, culturally speaking. And I feel like that really hurt KFC. Plus, the last time I had it, and the only time I had KFC was, I must have been like 12 or 13 with my friend when I made one of my first videos, which was a fast food review in which we ate KFC, McDonald's, and Burger King consecutively, and then had the worst time of our lives afterwards, if you get what I'm saying. So KFC, I'm gonna put them in E tier, but they're on thin ice. Subway. Okay, Subway has quite the reputation. So in case you didn't know, Subway actually has the most locations out of any fast food restaurant, mostly because they're really easy to franchise, whereas places like McDonald's and I think especially Chick-fil-A have a much higher bar to entry. So because of that, they just immediately go to D tier. I would put them in E or F because I actually think the locations smell really good on the inside, but their food's also terrible. So they're going to get a D, especially because like if you're getting fast, cheap food, you want it to taste good, and I'll be damned if Subway's actually healthy. So we're going to leave them in D tier for now, but might move some stuff around later. Speaking of the Subway format, Chipotle, which is more or less Subway but for Tex-Mex, they're going to go straight up to S tier. Now, the number one criticism that I hear of Chipotle is that everything you get, like you can hit a randomize button for all the like options and just have a random burrito and it'll taste the same. Okay, number one, I just don't agree with that because you're probably still not getting like the hot salsa and everything because you're a little baby. But the other thing is in terms of value. So when you look at fast food practically, Chipotle is by far not even close the best value. I measure my burrito bowls every time I get one. For $12.60, my burrito bowl, which has lots of stuff in it, is my burritos are like 2 pounds and 8 ounces, including the cardboard container. So probably like 2.5 pounds. I don't know where you can get 2.5 pounds of like nutritious food for $12 at grocery stores, let alone a quick and convenient and sometimes mostly clean restaurant. So right away, Chipotle is S tier, especially considering they probably have the highest quality ingredients and freshness out of all of these places, save one, which I'll get to in a second. So right now, they're an S tier. Okay, I talked about Popeyes earlier. They have the like legendary chicken sandwich. The Popeyes I live next to always has a line going out back and everyone's ordering the chicken sandwich. But I gotta be honest with you guys, I really do think that fried chicken, while it can be pretty good at fast food restaurants, is just really limited to the format, which means fried chicken has to be fresh and you really can't cut that many corners. And what fast food is cutting corners. So Popeyes is going to be B tier, but ahead of Burger King and Wendy's, that's for sure. It's definitely better than those two. In fact, Burger King, I'll revisit that. Okay, Jimmy John's. Jimmy John's is Subway, but supposedly better. I've had it a couple times. I gotta be honest with you guys, like fast food sandwiches are just not that good. So they're gonna go C tier behind McDonald's and they're gonna go C tier behind McDonald's and ahead of Culver's. And I'm going to move these around too. Yeah, that looks better. All right, what next? Let's do Taco Bell. So Taco Bell, I've seen a couple fast food tier lists, and everyone says that they're in a league of their own. And I have to agree with that. mostly because people compare Taco Bell and Chipotle to each other, and that just pisses me off for a couple reasons. The only things they have in common are that they're Mexican restaurants that were invented by Americans, or USA citizens, I should say. And so everything else is different, including the quality. I think Chipotle is like 10 times higher quality than Taco Bell, but Taco Bell is 10 times more consistent. So I'm going to say, in terms of the package of being fast food, I think that Taco Bell does a better job at being fast food than Popeyes, especially McDonald's and everyone else, because they just know what they're doing. Everything you get is some variation of ground cardboard meat and like greasy cheese and the same flour tortilla. And that's what fast food should be, because you have to keep it simple. Okay, Taco Bell, A tier. That's good. White Castle. So if you don't know what White Castle is, I don't know how you don't know that, but they cook the burgers by like putting out a bed of onions on the griddle and then poking holes in the patties and putting them on top of the onions, letting the steam come up. And you're like, wow, that sounds kind of interesting, but pretty gross. And yeah, it is pretty gross. I was talking to a friend last night, and he said he had a friend who worked at White Castle, and he said the food is terrible. And I agree, because it's really, really gnarly. And I don't think there's a single White Castle on the face of this earth that isn't absolutely disgusting. They are, no, they got to go F tier. I'm sorry, White Castle, you're just terrible. What's next? Let's do the pizza places. Okay, Pizza Hut and Domino's. Everyone has some form of opinion as to which is better than the other. I got to go ahead and say, I'm going to put Pizza Hut in A tier. Okay, why am I putting Pizza Hut in A tier? Especially because I'm from New York and I really like New York pizza. I was working on Yankel, which is this car right here, in my driveway before I had this warehouse, and someone from Pizza Hut came up to me, and they said, like, hey man, I know you're really struggling out here. Can I get you a free pizza? And obviously I was working on the car for like media production stuff, not because I like needed it for transportation. So it was a misunderstanding, but they were being extremely generous. And Chi, it was their name. Chi, I appreciate you. Thank you for the free pizza. Domino's, they're going to go B tier. I mean, I think they're largely the same as Pizza Hut, but the reason I'm knocking them down is because they don't give me free pizza, number one. Number two, I feel like their branding is too good. Like sometimes a company's branding is so clean and so corporate that there's not enough flaws and it's uncanny valley. So Domino's, B tier, better than McDonald's. Wingstop. Okay, Wingstop is gonna go just ahead of White Castle. It's not quite as bad as White Castle, but my God, I didn't think there was a such thing as a bad chicken wing until I went to Wingstop. Not only that, but their wings are also incredibly expensive, and the location that's near my house is terrible. They're very slow, and I think that's pretty common for most Wingstops. All right, last but not least at all is Five Guys. Now, Five Guys, based on its food, belongs its S tier, no question. A Five Guys burger is better than Nathan's, McDonald's, Burger King, Wendy's combined. It's that good. But it's not as good as everyone says it is, number one. And number two, dear God, is Five Guys expensive. I think for the burger alone, it's like $12. Plus, last time I was there, I asked all the way, but no mustard, and they put mustard on it. So Five Guys, it's going to go A tier, ahead of Nathan's, but behind Taco Bell. Even though the food is better, Taco Bell's food sucks, but they're a really good fast food restaurant. I just got to stress that. That's why they're so high up in A tier, because as a fast food restaurant, they just beat all the others. All right. Is there anything here that I don't stand by? Domino's is better than Burger King, so we're going to move that. You know what? I'm moving Culver's to B tier. That seems like a drastic change, and it is, because I just remembered something. If you sign up for like a Culver's rewards email thing, they'll give you a free coupon, a buy one, get one free value basket. Value basket's around like $11 or $12, which is just like a combo meal. So burger, fries, drink. And that buy one, get one free discount technically has a date on it. But if you just put your finger over the date and like show the drive-through the drive-through employee or phone like that, they don't give a single shit, and they will just absolutely give you that coupon. In fact, sometimes I go through the drive-through and I say, yeah, I have the buy one get one free coupon, and they're just like, okay, and then they put it in. So there's a fun hack. Oh, I should do that as a YouTube video. That would be awesome. Yeah, what if, let me know in the comments below if I should do a YouTube video where I just go through drive-thrus and I like say I have a coupon, but I don't, they just give me free stuff. All right, I'm gonna do something risky here, and I'm gonna, yeah, I stand by that. KFC, I'm sorry, but I'd still rather eat Wingstop than KFC. That one time I had KFC, man, that was gastrointestinal disaster. Yeah, this is it. This is my list. And keep in mind, this is a factually correct list, so there's no need to like correct me or throw in your own opinions because they're wrong. But if you want to talk to a wall, feel free to leave a comment down below on how your opinion is wrong, different. Anyways, this is my second channel, so I'm going to show you the behind the scenes of what's going on my main channel. It'll be like 10 seconds. Oh, look, it's Yankel, except there's nothing in the engine bay. Why? Because it's over there. Why is it over there? Because it's being upgraded. Stay tuned for more.